thank you all for joining me and us here today to talk about Women's Fiction Day. Um, this is something that WFWA has been doing since I want to say like around 2018. Um, some years have been more celebrations than others based on what's going on, what our volunteer situation is like. But this year, we really wanted to go all out. So we've got a month's worth of things that we're doing all month during the month of June. So, first of all, welcome. It's good to see you all here. So, June 8th is Women's Fiction Day. And it is a special day of recognition and celebration for the world of women's fiction. As I said, this year we wanted to really go all out and showcase not only our amazing writers and authors of the organization, but the genre itself. We have, like I said, a month full of activities, events, programs, and things that we're going to spotlight in this hour today for you. So before we get into the details of all the things we have planned, I wanted to give everybody a little bit of background on how and why Women's Fiction Day came to be. We talk all the time about, multitasking. We talk all the time about how important our volunteers are to our incredible community. As I mentioned, Michelle is one of our volunteers here. Nanette is also a very instrumental volunteer, and I'm sure there's more of you. Amy Garner is here. Hi, Amy. I need to change my view so I can see all you guys. Here we go. Oh, yay! Look, there's so many people. Raquel Drosos is here. Hi, Raquel. Kimberly Sullivan. Hey, Kimberly. And Doretta, Dory. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Anyway, I love my volunteers. And if some of the rest of you are volunteers and I didn't mention you, feel free to shout out and say, hey, I volunteer too. Anyway, we talk a lot about how important our volunteers are to this incredible community. And Sharon Ritchie, aka Sharon Wishnow, is one of those incredible people who continues to give back to our members. Sharon is currently the editorial advisor for our quarterly EPUB Write On, which you can see those back issues, all the archived issues, current issue here in the online community. Sharon is currently the editorial advisor. Oh, I said that, sorry. But once upon a time, she also served as our communications VP for 4 years. So she's definitely in the give back mode. During her years as VP, Sharon saw an opportunity to expand our footprint as a leader in the writing community. She knew, like many of us do, that the term women's fiction is often misunderstood. So she researched the official National Day calendar and eventually landed on June 8th. She said to sort of kind of capture the easy breezy summertime beach read vibe that so many of our members' books speak to. There are, of course, I have to point this out, there are, of course, many subgenres, including historical fiction, domestic thrillers, inspirational, upmarket book club, literary, mysteries, and more, rising from the foundation of women's fiction. So if you're curious, I did do an office hours with Sharon back in 2024, and I just reposted that on the office hours replays page. So Women's Fiction Day is an opportunity to use the collective power of WFWA and everybody we know to promote what we're doing, what you're working on, the books you've published or books that your author friends have published. This celebration is not exclusive to published authors. We're here to cheer everybody on. Lisa Montanaro's here. Hi, Lisa. Good to see you. Thank you for coming. So good to see you. Um, so what I want to do first of all is I want to take you guys on a little tour of the online community, show you where information is, where you can get that there. Also of the Women's Fiction Day page on our website, so you can see how that's set up and how to get the information that you need from wherever it is you want to be. Okay, so here we are in the online community. Hopefully, most of you who are here have been into the online community and poked around to see all the things we have. This is our scrollable main navigation menu here. And under this events and special programs area, when you click on that, it opens this page. Now, I will say that since I am an admin, there's more things on this page than a lot of our standard members will see. But I did make sure just this morning that this Women's Fiction Day area is visible. So everybody should be able to see that when you visit this area. So if we click into this, you can see it's just a simple page with a bunch of information here. But I wanted to kind of go through this because this is where a lot of the stuff that you're going to be looking for is at. So we're going to be featuring a public book fair. We're going to do author giveaways. We're going to have a list of regional author events and a bunch of other stuff. And I'll show you that on a different page. This is the listing of everything that's going on. So today, obviously, we're doing office hours. During the whole month of June, like I said, we're going to have this virtual book fair. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to have a list of regional events, and our members can submit their books, their giveaways. If you guys want to, you can give away anything you want. You can give away your own books. You can give away friends' books. You can give away swag if you have some cool swag that you give out at author events. If you're having a regional event or you're participating in a regional event, whether it's something at the library or maybe at a book festival or a bookstore, or maybe you're doing a book launch, whatever kind of event that you are having or participating in during the month of June, we want to feature it for you and get some exposure for you. During the month of June, again, you're also going to have availability to purchase some cool swag that Amy Garner is working on. Everything from bookmarks and stickers, mouse pads, different writerly things that celebrate women's fiction. We're also going to have a shout out contest. We did this last year. That'll be on Instagram. We're going to have a random drawing at the end to give away some fun and useful writerly prizes. There will be hashtags involved and more information coming about that as well. And then to help you spread the word and take part in promoting Women's Fiction Day, your books, your friends' books, we are creating promotional graphics for you guys to use on your social channels. And those will be available. Links to those will be available on the main website. So on June 8th, we are having our second Ask an Author Q&A with our guiding scribe, Laura Drake. We just started those this month. In fact, it's happening now this week. If you haven't hopped on there to ask Laura a question, highly recommend. She's open to anything and everything pretty much. If she doesn't know the answer, she'll try to find it for you. And you can visit the guiding scribe events page. There's a link here. I forgot to show you up here. There's a link here for the Women's Fiction Day page on the website. So Laura's doing her Ask an Author for the whole week from Monday through Friday of that week. And then on June 8th, we're also going to have a live virtual event and announce the Star Award finalists. So exciting. There's a link here for more information about that on our contest page. Then towards the end of the month, middle of the month, we have our virtual fiction writing conference, which many of you may remember as the virtual summit that we did last year. Very similar to that, except that this time we are going to have live pitch sessions. So if you haven't signed up for that and you're interested, click here for more details about that. So this is the, as I said, the basic skeleton information about Women's Fiction Day. To get into the nitty gritty, we're going to go to the Women's Fiction Day page on our main website. So you can click this link here, but I also want to show you guys, just in case you weren't aware, whenever you're on the online community here, if you scroll down to the bottom of this left side menu, you'll see this link here that says WFWA website. That will take you over to the website as well. And that's a super easy way to get over there. So I'm going to go ahead and click this page, and somebody let me know if they see this when it pops up, Women's Fiction Day. Yay.
You see it.
Yes.
Yep.
Yay. See, this is what's so great about Zoom. Google Meet doesn't do that. You have to stop sharing and then share a new screen. So it always excites me when it actually works, like I'm expecting it not to for some reason. Anyway, so this is, I'm going to slide this over here so you guys can see. So this is our Women's Fiction Day page on our main website. Now, to find this page, you can come up here to the public resources area. Public resources means exactly what it says, that anybody, member or not, can look at these pages. And you'll see that Women's Fiction Day is listed right here. So this is this page here. And you can see, so we've got virtual book fair, we've got our giveaways, we've got, this says Canva templates, but actually we're going to have standard like JPEGs available too for people who don't have Canva. So those will be available for you no matter what level of comfortability you have with working with templates. Like I said, we'll have a listing of author events in your area. Those will be listed by date. And then it'll have the region. We'll have a link for where to find more information about that event. As I mentioned, the shout out contest with prizes, and then the Women's Fiction Day swag. These submission forms here, I'm going to open these and go through those real quickly. Excuse me. But I just wanted to make sure everybody sees that there are two separate forms here. One is for the virtual book fair and the giveaways. And the other one is for if you are participating or having an author event. The submission windows for these are now through May 22nd. And I will say May 22nd is a loose deadline, but we are encouraging everybody to submit your information as close to that, or before that date as possible, so that our tech team, which is Fran Shimp and Sarah Burke, can create those pages. Once those pages are created, they will go live on June 1st and be available for the entire month of June. And those links will be right here under this by these bullet points. So you'll access the virtual book fair page here, the giveaways here, et cetera, et cetera. Down here, we have basically the same dates that you saw on the online community page and information there, with links to find out more information about that. So let's open these forms, because I want to talk a little bit about how to fill these forms out so that the process proceeds smoothly. So I'm going to click here. And then once again, if somebody could just let me know once I get to, this is a good opportunity for me to point out. We have really good levels of security on our website. So oftentimes when a member goes to access a certain page, like our member directory or submission forms such as this one, even though you are already logged into the system, it's going to ask you to log in again. That is not a flaw. That is not something that you're doing wrong on your end. That is, I just had a ding and now I'm like a squirrel. I need to look at something super quick. Yes. I had a feeling that was somebody in the waiting room. Sorry about that. Popping back over here. Okay. All right. We back on this page. You guys seeing the sign in form?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So anyway, so FYI, try not to get frustrated when when you're asked a couple times to log in again. We're doing that for protection of all of the information on our site. So once you click that login, then it opens up the form for you. So the one thing that we want to stress is that in order to participate in the virtual book fair, which is going to be a page, a very pretty visual page with your covers on there, and then links to your website or your social site, whatever link you provide for us. But in order to be featured in the book fair, you have to first be listed on our WFWA Goodreads page. So if you haven't done that, then you're going to need to go ahead and do that. So you're going to follow this book submission form link right here to get your book up on Bookreads, and then you can come back and fill this out. You do not have to wait until you find out, oh, okay, I'm up on Goodreads, everything is good to go. Just get that submission form filled out and then come right back here and fill this out. And it asks you right here, yes, I'm already listed on Goodreads, or I have recently submitted, so that we know, okay, she submitted, and we'll watch for that. So on the event name, or excuse me, on the name events, that's me, on the name section, you can use your real name. Actually, excuse me, use your name that you use for WFWA. If you use your real name, like when you go to the member directory, if you're listed under your real name, please use that. And then you can list your pen name here if you would like that to be listed on the book fair page instead of your real name. But in order for us to qualify and double check everything, we need your real name that is listed in our member directory. You're going to list your email, your website. Keep in
Debbie,
mind,
Debbie,
yes, Nanette.
for the email, I have multiple emails with WFWA. Am I listing the one that I log in with, or does it matter?
It doesn't really matter as long as we can get a hold of you. It's
Okay,
fine. I, as like you, have three different emails.
right.
One is my
Yeah.
personal, two are WFWA emails. It's just a cross reference for us to go, yep, she's a member. No worries.
Okay.
This email information is not going to be posted on the book fair page. Basically, the only information on the book fair page is going to be the graphic of your book cover, and then your name and your website. And if you do have an author event that you submit also, we will put a link to that author event. I say that with a small caveat. If we get 100 people who put their books in and 100 people having events, we might not link them over just because of the time that it takes to do that. But I have a feeling it'll be more manageable, and that we will definitely be able to link over to that author event page for you. So you don't have to worry about the email address as far as public exposure goes. That's just for our information. Now, your website here, that will be listed if, hold on here, let me come down here. Second cover, I just want to make sure. Title. Okay, so your website, sorry, I should have gone through this a little bit more and made notes to myself. So your website will only be listed if that's the same one that you designate lower down in the form for where your promotional information is. So the website, again, is kind of mainly for us to be able to go, okay, yes, she's legit. She's got a real website. We'll put this in the group for the book fair. You're going to include your book title, your subgenre as it's listed on Goodreads, and you're going to upload your cover image. You can submit 2 book titles to the book fair. Now, regarding the cover image, we have some very explicit instructions slash request to how we would like you to format that file. We do need it to be a JPEG, because if you're submitting a PNG, a lot of times those files are much larger. If they haven't been flattened, they can be very, very large files, and that'll cause our page to slow down when it's trying to upload all of those images. So we want the JPEG file in a 200 pixel format. Your file name should include the title of the book, all one word, no spaces, dashes, colon, underscores, nothing like that, because those they do this weird little autocorrect thing, and they change underscores to exclamation points, and then it gets very confusing. So alpha only, no spaces, doesn't have to be all caps, but title of your book, all one word, and that will help our tech team manage the flow of what's been posted and what hasn't been posted, how to double check that. So like I said, you have 2 books that you can include on that. There's a little information here about the author giveaways and the linking to a direct sales page. This is very, very important, because in the link down here to your promotional page, that page cannot have that can't be like the final buy page. Like, there needs to be 2 clicks away. So it needs to be like a landing page that special page that you create. It could be your page from your link tree. It could be a page from your Instagram. It could be, a post from Facebook, whatever you want it to be, but it can't have the buy link on that page. You can have a link to the buy link on that page, but there needs to be that 2-click separation where we're clicking onto your promotional page and then clicking onto the buy page. That is not just a rule that we make. That's a nonprofit bylaws thing. So it's very, very important. If you're doing any kind of giveaways, we want to know, what the dates are going to be. Is there a specific time that's happening, or is it just happening like all month long and you're going to do a drawing at the end? Whatever the additional information is about the giveaway that you're doing. Now, if you want to do a giveaway, but you don't really know what you want to do yet, or you haven't thought about it, you can go ahead and submit your book for the book fair, and then come back later and resubmit your giveaway information. Again, I said that May 22nd date is a sort of a loose deadline. We would like to get as many people uploaded, their information submitted by that date, so that when the pages go live on June 1st, they're heavily populated and exciting to look at, and they don't look like crickets out there. So, as I said, if you decide on June 2nd, oh, I really want to do a giveaway, these look really cool and fun, and you create something, go ahead and come back to this form, put it on there, and we'll add it to that page. I know that was kind of a quick journey through that page and what we're doing. Does anybody have any specific questions? Monica, I see in the chat that you said giveaways only or including promotions. Can you give me some more details of what the question is you're asking?
I'm just wondering, like, if you've got a reduced price or something like that, or something that's not a giveaway but is a promotion.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, and I guess for the giveaways, maybe we should have called it giveaways or promos, because if no matter what you have, you could have bundles. You could have, I've got 3 books and I'm going to sell them in a bundle at this special rate. That definitely qualifies as well. In fact, maybe I'll ask our tech team to change the wording on that, so that everybody understands that they can submit anything. I mean, we're here to promote. you and your books and Women's Fiction Day. So we want all the things. Let's see. I've got Lisa and Amy. I'm not sure who was first. Lisa, I'll let you go ahead and go first.
Hi, Amy. Uh, Thank you, Debbie. Question for you, because I know that we're going to get a lot of questions on it, and I want to be prepared to answer them for you and the team. What constitutes an event under? So, does the event have to be on May 8th? Pardon me, June 8th. Does the event have to be on June 8th? Can it be, hey, I'm doing an Instagram live, like something very informal, or does it have to be, I'm speaking at a library, and does it have to be that day, or can it be
Yes.
around that week, etc.?
I'm so glad you asked that question because I should have shared that form with you guys as well, so you can see that. So I'm going to go back to sharing my screen and show you guys that form real quick because I want you to see that how the form is a little different than.
Okay, great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, if I can find the tab. Nope, that's not it.
Because I was going
Here
down
it
the rabbit hole of events in my head that members might have in mind.
Yeah. I'm so glad you brought that up. So, is everybody seeing we're back on the website? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, under the submission forms here, if you click on the author events for Women's Fiction Day, this opens up a Google form. So, in this form, you're going to list your name and your pen name if that's, if you use a pen name, your preferred email address, your website, or preferred social site URL. And then it gets into asking the specific questions. If you're planning an in-person event or an online event. If you're planning an in-person event, you're going to select the type of event that you're doing. And if the type of event you're doing is not listed here, just click other and tell us what it is that you're doing. We know there are a lot of different events that people can be involved in. We tried to think of all of the main ones without having too many selections. So if you don't see yours, throw it in that other category. Same thing for virtual events. And you could be doing both. If you're doing both, we'll list both of them. So check, and you can check as many of these boxes as you like as well. So if you're participating in multiple events throughout the month, you can check those boxes there as well. And then we want you to specify the specifics, where it's being held. If it's just virtual, you can just say online and the date and the time. But if you're doing an in-person event, we want to know where it's being held at. So people who are looking for events in their area will know. And on the page where both members and our public will be able to see these, there will be a column listing the cities where they're at, so people can see very easily without digging into each one where the events are at. Again, we're asking for the direct link to whatever landing page you're using for your event, reiterating no link to a direct sales page. We want you to provide a 1 or 2 sentence description of the event. Many people will provide a paragraph with tons of great information, but much like your log line for your book, the less the better. Bring it down. Tell us the gist of what you're doing. Otherwise, our team has to then go in and edit and figure out what we think is the most important thing to include, which might not be the same as what you think. So get that down to some very concise information for us there. And then if you have any specific questions, something that is unique to your event or that wasn't addressed here, go ahead and throw the answer in here. And then we also have the disclaimer so that we know you have permission to be promoting this event. You might be speaking at a library, and we want to know that it's okay for us to put that information on here. And then submit your form. Did that answer your question, Lisa?
It does. And Amy has a great follow-up. Do you want members to fill out one form for all events to make life easier for the team as opposed to multiple forms for each event? Or do you need one form per event since you're asking for links and descriptions, etc.?
Yeah, I think it would be easier in Google Forms when you like transfer the information to a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
It does make it easier to have it
Okay.
separated.
So we'll have them
Otherwise,
do it per event, not per member. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you can fill out as many of these forms as you want too. If you, and like I said, you can submit your books now. Or, if you're doing like a book launch event or something here. And then if you decide to do another event, go ahead and submit the form. Our team will make sure that we get you added onto that.
And the parameters are the event has to be between May 22nd and June 30th, basically?
Actually, the event needs to be during the month of June, because that page on our main website that lists the author events will not go live until June 1st.
Until June 1. Okay, awesome. Thanks, Debbie.
Yeah. So anytime during the month of June, yes, your event can go there. Okay. So let's see. Amy Bernstein, what was your question?
You just answered all of my questions. It was all about events. You just covered it. I'm good.
Okay. Awesome.
Lower my hand.
Awesome. Raquel, you had a question?
I have one question about events and then one question about the genre thing. So with the events, they have to be women's fiction specific events, or it's literally anything. If we were just at some kind of book festival or craft festival or whatever, and you're like, hey, I'm here with my women's fiction books, does that count, or does it have to be specific to Women's Fiction Day?
If you're participating in a book festival, like say, the Tucson Book Festival, obviously, yeah, we want to hear about that because you are there representing women's fiction. The event itself doesn't have to be exclusive to women's fiction, but whatever you're promoting specifically, whether it's your books or friends' books or whatever, we want that to be within the genre of women's fiction, even if, as so many writers do, even if they list their main genre as something else, romance, historical fiction, if they are part of this women's fiction group, and they are on the Goodreads page, well, I shouldn't say that, because if they're your friends' books, then they're not going to be on our Goodreads page, and you can still promote them during the events. My advice is, if you think it fits, we'll trust you when it comes to the genre. Most of us understand that many of our authors do not list women's fiction, which is kind of sad, but at the same time, we understand how algorithms and things work. So if you are a historical fiction writer writing women's fiction, and you're at a historical fiction, an event, absolutely include that. Our historical fiction group does massive things, here. So we definitely want to include all of the springboards that go along with women's fiction.
So even if it's not like a book specific event, but you are there selling your books, would that count?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're doing an author talk, you could be at a library just reading from your book and not even selling your books. You could do an online event. You could schedule a live event on Instagram to read from your book. I mean, there are so many different ways that you can promote what you're doing, what your writing besties are doing. And what we're going to do, in addition from having these things listed on our public facing pages, is our social media team, Erin Butler and anybody she's recruited to help her, will be posting through the whole month of June, highlighting different things that loop back to that public page on our website to tell people about it. So you might see your event on our Instagram page being promoted. You might see your book on there. I don't get involved with exactly how they do those posts, but I provide some of the baselines and the structure for what we want to say in those. So this is a chance for all of our members who want to participate to take advantage of the WFWA platform in the public world, public facing world, on our public facing Facebook page, on our public Instagram page, and get some exposure, and reshare and all of those things to spread the word.
I had one more question. Is just
okay, yeah.
On the form that you showed us to submit our books for the book fair, it says genre as listed on Goodreads. So mine just say fiction on Goodreads. I don't know if that's the same for everyone else. I don't think they get into the nitty gritty necessarily on Goodreads. I don't know if anyone else has that sees that too. Like if you click on
Yeah.
your book, right? They don't
Can
have like
I
women's
can
fiction
I
or
answer that question?
sure.
Yes.
Because I was doing the research on Goodreads. Sorry, my camera isn't on. Yeah. I was doing all the research on it. So when you get listed on the WFWA Goodreads, part of that process is I don't know exactly what our volunteers do, but they check your book to make sure it's women's fiction. And so it will be listed at least as women's fiction on that Goodread. Um, if for some reason, like, so once you're on that page, then whatever it's listed as, you could just put women's fiction, you could just put fiction. Um, but yeah, we just want it to be the same as what's on the Goodreads page.
And I think too that maybe Raquel, are you speaking about your personal Goodreads page?
So I went to the WFWA bookshelf thing, and my books were both on there. But then I clicked on my book from there, and all it says when it says genre is fiction. And actually, my other book doesn't say anything underneath. It just doesn't even have that genre tab. It's kind of weird. I don't know if that's like a Goodreads glitch or whatever, but or if anyone else has seen that happening. But yeah, that's I didn't see an actual genre listed for one, and for the other one, the only genre I saw was fiction. But obviously, they're both women's fiction if they're on the Goodreads page. So should I just put women's fiction? I mean, I don't know. I don't want to
Yeah,
make it more
that's what I would
difficult.
do.
Okay.
I don't know
Yeah,
why the women's fiction isn't listed there, but yeah, to be on that page, you have to be designated women's fiction.
yeah. And designated, just to clarify again, does not necessarily mean that your Bowker information classifies it as women's fiction, but that it does fall under the umbrella of what it means to write women's fiction, that transformational journey, with some kind of enlightenment of some kind at the end, or resolution to issues and things like that. So if you are on the WFWA Goodreads page, then you're good to go, and you can list your book as women's fiction regardless of whether it just says fiction. This replay is going to be posted in the office hours space of the online community. It'll also be in the Women's Fiction Day space, and there'll be a link on that Women's Fiction Day page on our main website. So you can revisit anything that we talked about that you may have missed, or if you want to share it with somebody and they're like, oh, I missed it, you know where to direct them. I'll also be posting the link in next week's newsletter, so everybody can get the link from there as well. If anybody has any issues with a form, you can always reach out to Michelle at technology@womensfictionwriters.org, and she can see if she can help you get over whatever challenges you're having. But we've tested them and they're working, so nobody should have any issues. Every now and then I get people saying, oh, it's asking me for something, and I'm like, that's weird. I've never heard of that. I don't know. Clear your cache, try again. That's always unplug your computer, plug it back in. Sometimes your computers get stuck in these like directory, loops and pathways. And sometimes you just got to unplug, clear your cache and browsing history, and start over. So that's what I recommend for that. And if anybody has any questions along the way, you can always reach out to me. I'm available everywhere. Thank you to all the volunteers who are helping with not only Women's Fiction Day, but also the virtual conference. It does take a village to make these things happen. And our volunteers are just incredible with the amount of expertise they bring to the table and the time that they offer. So if there's not any more questions, I'm going to give you guys 15 minutes of your day back. And I look forward to seeing you and celebrating Women's Fiction Day with you during June. Thanks so much for attending. Watch for the replay. See you all later. Bye now.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debbie.